Hello and welcome back to Star Wars The Old Republic. I literally just completed the optional objective for this story area and we currently have something to do. We're going to be unlocking the prison doors, hopefully finding Commander Lanklin here, and I kind of hope that I don't have to kill the rest of these people, but we'll see.
My lord, is that you? I heard the sounds of battle outside and grew hopeful.
Rise to your feet, Commander. You're freed.
Sorry for this trouble, but truth is, my capture gives us great insight into the enemy. Jedi Zerender is a crafty adversary. I thought I was tracking him and his men when I found myself led into a pirate ambush. It seems he had the Republic's elite Tal's commandos lure me off his trail. The Tals are unmatched trackers, highly cunning.
Could have happened to anyone.
I'm sorry, my lord, but this means I have no concrete leads. I can tell you this. If Zerender's been given command of the Tals, this weapon he's after must be supremely important. I know where the Tals' headquarters is located. Maybe you can force one of them to confess what Zerender's after.
If I have to kill every Tals on this planet, I will get what I need.
I wish there was more I could do. I hope this lead makes up for my blunder. I'll rendezvous with you at the outpost in the next sector, and we can update Lord Barris.
Ah, yes, the classic, the classic. Okay, well, at least we did gain some influence with Jesus in general, and even if we do get a little bit of disapproval here and there, I don't think it's that bad. Alright, so we've arrived in Lef Outpost, where we actually have someone to speak to in the name of Captain Revar. He's the guy that we found out about in the previous mission, and he needs some assistance.
What is this? I asked not to be disturbed. Ah, it is you. Commander Triton and that Chiss fellow spoke well of you. Make yourself at home. I was busy calculating our chances in case the Republic attacks. It looks grim. If they bring a force of any real size, we're doomed.
If you have enemies, send me at them. You will be safe soon enough.
Our skeleton crew is willing to fight, but we need automated guns to make up for the lack of numbers, and those eat power. What we really need is to tap into the nearby geothermal power substation, but it's been taken by the White Maw. We don't have the manpower to take on those pirates, and we've got a base that'll black out in any sustained fight with the Republic.
Criminals are no threat to me. Frozen ones less so.
The White Maw's Hawks are more like an army than criminals. Our kill ratio for them is about 1 to 10. This is an energy coupling you'll need to install when you've eliminated all resistance. It should divert flow back to the outpost. With that power, our guns will be operational and give us a fighting chance. Go in strength.
Oh wow, okay, that guy is that guy's not very respectful, I gotta say. First of all, not actually talking about the guy, you know, Colonel Udris, not talking about him with his name. He basically just said that Chiss fellow, you know. First of all that, and then also not providing us with a huge amount of respect either. Although I don't really care about myself, but he's very clearly being disrespectful towards Udris. And, well, that's kind of disappointing, isn't it? Yes. But, I mean, I suppose that is to be expected. Imperials and everything are kind of like that. And we've seen that firsthand. Even on Korriban, when we first started, there's a lot of, shall we say, there's a lot of anti-alien sentiment. Let's just say that. Anyway, what do I actually need to do here? There is actually something I need to do here. I need to go over here somewhere. The geothermal substation. Need to go up here, I guess. I actually have no idea. Yep. There we go. Install the power coupling. So I need to literally just go straight where I went here. That is so funny. That was completely by mistake. I had no idea where I was going. But that's nice. And then we can actually kill these. There we go. And there is an optional objective, but as I said before, I'm probably not going to be focusing on optional objectives a huge amount unless I see a significant reason to do that. And if this guy stuns me again, I was going to use my unleash thing, 2-minute cooldown on that thing. It's pretty nice. There we go. Let's install this. Wonderful. And then we can just return to him. Wow, that was actually really fast, wasn't it? That was actually a lot faster than anticipated. Yeah, as I said, I'm not going to do the optional. If I am close to doing it, then I'll finish them all off. But as you can see, I'm 6 out of 15. I don't really want to spend additional time doing that. So we're just gonna go back, and hopefully that's not going to affect things too badly.
You did it. We're running on geothermal power now. We blew a circuit when it came on, but that was easily fixed. Did the Hawks prove difficult?
They proved clumsy and stupid. I could have fought twice that number.
I thought as much. Sith have an extremely high success rate in combat against irregular forces. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to oversee the deployment of our sensors and weapons. We've already begun the installation of our defense systems, and we're on schedule to be done before nightfall.
Sir, the Republic frequencies are alive with chatter. They somehow knew we had a power surge just now, so I swept for bugs and I found this. An energy monitor.
Now you've got my undivided attention.
The key thing is, they saw our power readouts and were shocked into action. And that's not good. They won't attack here. They'll bomb the main geothermal reactor to black out the entire sector.
Tell me more of this.
It sounds like they figure with us and a lot of pirates all on the same grid, one fatal blow is better than trying to take the reactor over.
They'll have to cut through the Ortolan workers there and the Whitemore pirates, but they're sending Zero Squad snowtroopers. If I were a gambler like the captain here, I'd bet on them.
The time for action is now.
Zero Squad is the Republic's best. If you defeat them, just think of the humiliation.
You know, it's actually quite funny. I don't even really know what is happening with my guys' responses to a lot of these conversations, because I don't know whether you've noticed that, but whenever he speaks, he's constantly saying stuff. Whenever I say, "Oh, interesting," you know, whenever I answered "interesting" there, he goes, "Ah, tell me more," or "Ah, that sounds exactly like what I would think," and so on and so forth. And he's always saying something so incredibly generic, and I'm actually going to assume that that is because this is indeed a story arc for the planet, and not actually a story arc for the class itself. And I'm going to assume that they did not put as much emphasis on, shall we say, uniqueness in regards to the lines that are spoken by the player character in these moments. And as a result, they basically have this. They have this kind of situation where you're just having generic lines being spoken every single time, which I have to say, I'm actually kind of disappointed by. I feel like, you know, it doesn't really provide you with as much immersion. But maybe that is just me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a bit too critical or something like that. But, you know, I am very much enjoying the main storyline here. I think the main storyline is pretty fun, as is always the case. I think the class story is really enjoyable in general. I mean, obviously there are a number of classes in the game that don't really hit home as much. I'm mostly talking about maybe the Jedi Consular story. I think that might be one of the weaker ones. I'm not sure. Maybe I have to see what's going on with that, actually, because obviously everyone has a different opinion on that. There's actually a lot of differing opinions in regards to which is the strongest, you know, which is the strongest class story and which one's the weakest. And yeah, it's always very interesting to actually see what people think, because, as I say, I feel like maybe the weaker ones are something like the Trooper, and maybe the Consular, like I said. Maybe the Bounty Hunter as well. Not sure. It's been a long time, actually. As I say, it's been an absolutely, you know, it's been years since I played through these stories. So I am certainly not someone that can really comment on that kind of thing. You know, it's more than likely I'm not going to have the same kind of insight as to someone that's played through them recently, or more recently, shall we say. Another 20 enemies, really? Oh, okay. Guess we'll do it. You know, I do have to say, though, I feel like some of these missions are actually kind of weird, because I don't know whether you noticed, but in the first story mission of Hoth, we have to go into a base and disarm 3 bombs. And what are we doing here? We're disarming 2 bombs. You see what I mean? It's kind of strange. Anyway, we do have some pretty cool things happening here. Maybe a conversation.
All civilians need to evacuate the station. Step away from the console with your hands on your head. I said, step away from the console with your hands on your head.
Do I have to ignite my lightsaber to get your attention?
Intruders! I've got intruders in the shaft room!
Oh, I actually thought we were going to get a much larger conversation, much longer conversation. Not sure what's going on with this guy, but he's doing some weird stuff. He's pushing me back. He's yeah, he's trying to. For some reason, this little guy was trying to prevent this guy from doing something, and. Aren't they both Republic? I feel like they're both Republic. This guy is literally bugging me out or something. I can barely move. That's really weird. Alright, there we go. Now we can speak to him.
It's obvious I'm not here for your benefit. Why aren't you running? You provide the expertise, and the Empire will provide protection.
There they are! Get them!
Alright, okay, that was cool. Okay, I like that, I like that. And I like the fact that these guys are supposed to be fearsome commandos, but they're literally some of the lowest, most easy to kill people that I've ever seen. That is always amusing, you know. Literally, it's like, oh yeah, this guy is really dangerous. He's one of the most dangerous people I've ever seen. And then he turns out to be, you know, a guy that dies in 2 hits. That kind of thing has happened quite often, actually, recently to me in games. I don't actually know what's going on with that, but I guess it's for balancing reasons. I guess it's for balancing reasons or something like that. But yeah, anyway, Gore does a massive amount of damage still, by the way. So when we're in Berserk, spamming Gore is literally one of the most damaging things that you can do. It does so much. It's really, really impressive. Anyway, let's go back to Captain Ravar. Alright, so we've returned, and let's see if he has another little bit of, shall we say, errand boy things for us to do.
It's over. The reactor is secure, and the Empire now has to deal with the Ortolans.
I was hoping they'd stay on. The last time we took over a reactor, we had to translate all their labels into BASIC. I'll ask Command to send reinforcements there. Looks like we're going to be holding some ground after all.
This planet should be about winning instead of stalemates.
If you say so, my lord. But let's not talk theory when the real world demands our attention. The captain of Thesh outpost on the glacier requires help. He's been wounded, and his outpost is battling a group of survivalist fanatics called the Hailstorm Brotherhood. You could make the difference.
I'm making no promises.
That is as much as I can ask. We must all look out for ourselves.
Oh, wow, okay. I don't know. I don't know whether I want to do that. Some of these things, right? Some of these things that they're asking me to do right now, I am thinking to myself, why? Why is there always, like, there's always something going on? What would they have done if I hadn't come here? Eh? What would they have done? I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, obviously this is a game. We have to remember that. And so, obviously, keeping that in mind, the developers do have to create content for players to consume. That's obviously the main goal, right? It's the main goal. However, I do feel as though many of these missions are a little bit too repetitive for my liking. I feel like they are, you know, go to this outpost, help this guy, go to this place, disarm these bombs, and so on. And I feel like they could have done something a little bit more imaginative there, maybe a little bit different from the bomb thing. I don't know. I haven't really been, I think in the last, I don't know, I think maybe the last 2 planets, or maybe the last 3 planets, the story mission for those planets has been a little bit lacking. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But it's funny because whenever I go into a story, you know, like the class story, right? Whenever I go into the class story mission and I see what's actually happening there and the objectives and the writing and who we encounter in those things, I always think to myself, whoa, that's actually cool. That was a really amazing encounter, super fun and immersive and all that stuff. And when we do a planet story, it feels not as good. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but anyway, we have a Padawan here.
I'm all that's left. Everywhere I turn, the monster appears. Why do you torment me? I'm not part of your vendetta. What? A Sith? First Zerender abandons me. Now this?
I haven't come to kill you.
Why should I trust you? You're my sworn enemy. At least a Sith I can see and fight straight up. I won't be assassinated in the dark like these poor Tals. My master would tell me not to attack, but he's not here. Defend yourself, Sith!
Okay. Yeah, he's lost it. He has lost it completely. But that's okay, because I'm actually fine. I just literally killed him in 1 rotation. Okay, alright.
Go ahead and kill me. I didn't want to die at the hands of the beast anyway.
You need to calm down.
If you'd seen what I'd seen, you know how foolish that sounds. The Tals warned my master about BROONMARK. He's a savage Tal seeking revenge on Fitzellan and the others for ousting him. But did Zerender care? No. Now BROONMARK's in here somewhere, murdering... Wait! Did you hear that? No. He's... Oh!
You cannot scare me. We should work together. We are of common purpose. I have no intention of disrupting you, BROONMARK.
Ooh, now that's a cool companion right there. I mean, obviously he does become a companion eventually, and I think that's very cool. He's got that personal cloaking device. All right, so we've made our way over to the outpost. I was not a big fan of doing this, but let's just see what he wants.
Please return to the medical bay. You may further injure yourself by walking.
I heard you the first 5 times. Now be silent. I have an outpost to defend. So, you made it past the pass in the mountains. I'm surprised the Hailstorm Brotherhood let anyone through.
Your old friend is alive and well. Hoth is turning our way.
Revar. It is too long since I've heard from him. Apparently not doing so well he could send a fighting force. We've been cut off from the other outpost by the Hailstorm Brotherhood. A cult of madmen in the White Moor Pirates. You see this wound? Dressed it with seasonings from the rations when we ran out of Kolto. In a few days, we'll be eating boot leather to survive.
There's no glory in dying. Can you make it back to another outpost?
No retreating. I've spent too long in this ice patch to be driven off by some half-dressed freaks. Besides, they track us and attack. The Hailstorm Brotherhood are lying in wait in a pass between hills near here. You may be able to find them and wipe them out. Could you do this? Could you face the Brotherhood?
I will do more than face them. The snow will melt with their blood.
Yes. Let not one of them stand or crawl or limp away. They will face retribution for those they have killed. Then, when you have the bodies piled... curse it, another stitch.
Sir, I did say you need to be on bed rest.
Very well. The Brotherhood like to use downed speeders as bait. They should be easy enough to find. Good hunting.
And that's okay, right? That's okay for me to say. You know, the what is it now? The snow will melt with their blood and all that stuff. And Jason's like, oh yeah, that's fine. You know, that's all right. That's fine. That's completely okay. Okay, so it's time for us to talk to Barris. I'm actually kind of excited about this.
Jedi off my hollow, Lanklin. Now.
I can't. Sarender's overridden all my controls.
As you can see, Barris, I control this planet. I've tapped your communications and can anticipate your every move. As Commander Lanklin knows firsthand, the Talls keep me one step ahead of even you.
I've never seen you speechless, Master.
I have. If only I'd taken the opportunity to shut him up permanently. I'm not here for a reunion, Barris. The last time we met, you were left drained and weaponless. This time you won't be so lucky.
My lord. I'm sorry,
You have failed me for the last time, Lanklin. Ensign Slint, you are now coordinator of my dealings on Hoth. Don't screw it up, Commander.
I will not disappoint you, my lord.
Apprentice, you better have good news for me.
You can always count on me, Master. The lost superweapon Zerender seeks is actually a Jedi Master named Violet.
Ah, Master Violet. Now I understand why Zerender would risk exposure. Before his capture during the war, Violet was among the Jedi's most powerful masters. The ship transporting him to me was destroyed in a fierce space battle in this system. I assumed he'd perished, but...
The ship must have crashed here on Hoth, and he's kept himself alive all this time.
So it would seem. For beings that commune deeply enough, the Force can be as sustaining as rations. During the war, Zerender was Master Violet's Padawan. We battled. Violet took my lightsaber and used it from then on. If Violet is on Hoth, so is my blade. I will concentrate to locate it. Yes, there. Coordinates sent, Commander. Now go, Apprentice. Find the lightsaber and the Jedi.
My lord, the area indicated is an uncharted quadrant where Black Marketeers are said to operate. What will you have me do while you're away?
That's all I need, Commander.
The Emperor's speed to you, my lord.
Alright, cool. Yes, exactly. Like I said, I am actually very excited about doing any of the, shall we say, class story stuff, because it's always interesting in some way or another, and yeah, this was no exception. It's always very interesting. I just don't understand why I had to come all the way down here. That's the question. Why did I have to come all the way down here? Who knows? Alright, so we got mail from Colonel Udris, and he says, I must thank you again for the honor you bestowed on me at Dawn Base. My promotion to Colonel came as a surprise, but I've put emotion behind me to focus on bolstering our defenses. The Republic made a bold strike against us, but you clearly demonstrated that their success was more a matter of our own overconfidence than their competency as warriors. Vigilance and preparation are the new watchwords under my command. Although Commander Triton was clearly disappointed to be passed over for promotion, he has been unswervingly loyal during this transition. I will see he is appropriately rewarded. And we got almost 2,000 credits. Not too bad, not too bad. Anyway, that is indeed going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.